Good afternoon to all YouTubers. How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Evan here. Praise. This is good old Grandmaster Evan. You're watching the Anonymous Liberty Media. The term accountability. What is accountability? The term accountability is taking responsibility for one's actions. Taking accountability to understand what we need to do if we mess up badly. Mess up in general. Okay? Now, ever since we all learned that Matt Lauer was fired from Fox News, and then hearing and seeing Al Franken, a former SNL writer turned senator, resigned for his actions, which he claimed he tried to say they were lies. And there has to be accountability for anybody. If you have a history of pulling this it was a pleasant time. The time is now to realize, I mean, you have Hollywood and you have the media. Have one thing in common. One thing in common. You have these self-proclaimed golden boys in both genres. And who think just because they're up the top of their game, they can do what they want. Look at Harvey Weinstein. He got busted. He got fired from his own company. Matt Lauer was fired from NBC News. And then now we have this. Now we find out that ABC News, on their own, was suspended for 4 weeks without pay for a story that Brian Ross didn't get any check up on. He didn't fact check the story at all. So the funny part, which is really stupid, okay, the morning after, on The View, Joy Behar got all giddy and shit, read this like it was factual news. It wasn't factual. It was fake news. So Joy Behar just looked stupid. Really looked stupid. And she refused to take accountability for her actions for reading this. Even though ABC had to retract that story, saying that there was some errors in that story. But yet, even though she had to retract that story of what she read, she still believed it. Now, also, I mean, you got fake news in the media, as well as you have, I mean, look what happened to Matt Lauer, sexual assault. The guy cheated on his wife of 18 years. Okay? Then you got Hollywood for over a century. Over a century. You had sexual assault from the beginning to the current era. I've said this before about the Golden Age. Louis B. Mayer, a co-founder of MGM. Okay. He raped a young girl, 16, 17, 18 years of age, who was a stand-in at one of the parties that they'll be held in Hollywood during that Golden Age. And at that moment, looking back at it now, it happened then, it happened now. I mean, Corey Feldman came out and says one of the biggest problems in Hollywood is and always will be pedophilia. I've been a big fan of Corey Feldman. Big fan of all the movies he was in, The Goonies, Gremlins, uh, a lot of his later stuff, The Lost Boys, and it's when I watched that interview that he did. As a dad, just hearing about this really bothers me. And there are a lot of powerful people in both businesses, Hollywood and the media. How highly powerful people who are willing to spend a huge amounts of money to silence somebody to save their own ass. But when you got guys like Matt Lauer, Harvey Weinstein, Charlie Rose, the list goes on and on and on. And there may be more that we don't know about. Accountability is a very powerful word. Accountability. Being accountable. If any of us mess up in any way, we have to take responsibility for our actions. We have to be held accountable for our actions. Just because somebody has lots of money, willing to pay this person to keep their silence, you think that after paying someone to keep quiet, you think they're going to stay quiet because you're giving them tons of money to keep them quiet? There's not a amount of money in the world that can keep a person quiet. And no matter if it's $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, or $1,000,000. It's just not enough to keep a person quiet. Because the reason they're paying this money to keep quiet because they know something. And it's huge, really big. That the person who's paying them does not want to be leaked out, don't want to be out of fear that they would lose absolutely everything. Their livelihood, their career, their family, their own reputation would be tarnished for a very long time. Now, look at Polanski, the director of Rosemary's Baby from 1968. In the late 70s, he was accused of raping a 14, 15-year-old girl in the late 70s. And instead of facing prosecution, he left for France. Has he been back? Who knows? Has it been held accountable? Probably not. I mean, whether you're in the media or whether you're in Hollywood, sports world, highly powerful people with lots of money are it's just insane. Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie were victims of Harvey Weinstein. Angelina Jolie, who's in one of my favorite movies, Hackers, back in the mid-90s. Harvey Weinstein assaulted her. And after that, she refused to work with Weinstein. This guy was instantly a pig. He's a pig. I mean, there's a lot of actresses in the movie and in the media who have been victims of sexual assault, sexual harassment from some of their male counterparts. Now, I wouldn't say all of them, but some. And they have fear of talking because of losing their jobs, have their career ruined. And it's just deeply appalling to just hear this. I have a 12-year-old niece. And I would not want anything to happen to my good kid, good grades, and I would be appalled if anything ever happened to any female if they choose a career in acting, politics, media, sports, the military, because there are a lot of cases in the military where women have been raped and sexually assaulted, and women in the sports business, especially if you're a 14 to 17-year-old girl whose coach is a little bit too handsy, has a dark secret that he had for 25, 30, 35 years of molesting or raping young girls that is coaching. whether it's gymnastics or basketball, female basketball. There are some coaches in middle school and high schools that we don't know of, have dealt. You got. I love sports. Sports is a very active event thing. Baseball, football, hockey, cross, running. Just any sport. Swimming, gymnastics, tennis. It's a scary thing to be a victim. It's a scary thing to be a victim because trust. Now trust is a very, very touchy subject here because you are building trust with the person you're working with, that you're training, and once that trust is built, the dark thoughts of the trainer starts to kind of bubble up to the surface, just a little bit at a time. The obsession. There's the constant touching. And it starts to more bubbles to the surface, and then all of a sudden starts to crack a little bit. Over time, that coach or teacher or whoever starts to think in their mind, they loathe this female. They start to fall for this female in a more psychotic, demented, evil way. It is very scary. There was this movie I seen about a few years ago. It's about this girl. She was a runner who had this coach that was just too touchy and shit. Way too much. I don't know. Maybe he was just coaching her. Nah. Not all coaches are bad people. There are some coaches, there are some teachers, there are some people who are bad. Not all of them are just nuts. But there are some that have in their minds, they are obsessed with this person. Obsessed. Whether you're a male or female, there's the obsession with the person they're close to. Jealousy of the matter. There was part of an episode of SVU, Law and Order SVU, where this woman was obsessed with this 16, 17-year-old boy, and he was in a relationship with a girl his age. Same age, no problem. But this woman was a psychiatrist who had a child with this kid, who fell in love with this kid. And after watching it, I was thinking in my mind that a psychiatrist is a doctor that's supposed to help people, right? Doctors, psychiatrists, surgeons, nurses in the medical field. Psychiatry is another form of medicine. You're helping people. You're helping somebody cope with issues and problems and stuff. But this woman was obsessed with this kid. She had him medicated. He was in her bed. She was so obsessed. He caused this kid and a girl his age to break up. This world is just weird. It's part utopia, part crazy town. So I see it. But accountability, you have to be held accountable for your actions. Be held accountable for your actions. I mean, look what's happening now. ABC News, media, fake news. Somebody has to be held accountable. Brian Rowe was suspended for 4 weeks without fact-checking the story. And then, the worst part, CNN tries to CNN also news. Now, here's a network, CNN, who's constantly fake news, try to school ABC News for this one story. And Brian Ross was suspended for 4 weeks without pay for this nonsense. Brian Williams for 15 years. Everybody believed his ass on NBC, nightly news. Found out he lied for 15 years to make his career look good. He went from the major leagues to MSNBC, the minor leagues. There has to be accountability in all this bullshit. Huge accountability. I just don't understand how a person like that could pull this crap. You have media here, you got fake news, and perverts up top. In Hollywood, you got good movies and perverts up top. I just don't get why. See, Hollywood now California has a 10-year statute of limitation on pedophilia and sexual assault. 10 years. That's why you got these Hollywood who think that they can get away with murder, okay? Who think they could get away with murder because California has a 10-year statute of limitation on pedophilia and rape. Now, I wish there was no limitation, because at that point you can, like murder, because with murder there is no statute of limitation. murder. I mean, you could have you could have killed somebody 40 years ago, and then get caught 40 years later. Because murder has no stature. Don't. And the only way that you can get with it is if you die yourself. It has a gun. But the accountability is accepting the responsibility of your action. If you mess up badly, you have to accept. The one problem we have is that nobody wants to take accountable for their actions because somehow they're afraid of, because they want to be free, be free. I seen a video yesterday or last night. This guy had 42 kids with 22 women. Okay? He's complaining about paying child support after betting 22 women and fathering 42 kids. If you're an asshole who betted 22 women and fathered 42 kids, it's your fault. You have to take accountability for your actions. You have to pay child support. Don't want to do it. So some guys don't want to do it because it's all about them. It's me, 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 me. No, you're the one who planted the seed. Okay, if you plant that seed, then and the woman you betted slept with had a child that you have conceived for 9 months, carried for 9 months, and you're the asshole who refuses to pay. Okay? You have to take responsibility for your actions. You know? That means child needs both parents, not just one. It takes two to create one life. And if you're the asshole who planted the seed in the womb area, and she's carrying this fetus that's growing inside her womb. It carries it for almost 10 months, minimum 9.5. And the day of the birth is when you screwed yourself because you're not willing to be a man, stand up like a man and help raise that child. See, I have no respect for any guy who leaves his family or leaves a woman who's carrying his child for another woman. If you, the guy, slept with this woman who's carrying your child, there are a lot of good guys out there who would love to be a dad, wants to be a dad, a good thing for the mother of his child and the child itself, he or herself. I'm a dad myself. I love being a dad. The day my son was born, my life became better because I have a smaller version of me Okay, I love being a dad. Being a dad is an incredible thing for me. I am happy to be a dad, and I'm taking care of my son's 18 now. He's in college, and the next thing I want to be, the next thing I want to be, is a grandfather. I can't wait to be a grandfather. I want to be a granddad so bad. I'm also an uncle. I'm an uncle. I love being an uncle. Being an uncle, I love being an uncle. It is one of the funnest things to do because I can spoil my niece and nephews like I spoiled my son. As it's like an adventure. Just with my son, the enjoyment is watching my son grow up. And kids have this kind of funny sense of humor. And when they get that look in their face, you kind of realize there's a squirrel running the wheel. Okay, and kids get these crazy thoughts in the head like, and the squirrel is running the wheel doing 150 miles an hour on the wheel, and you realize they're going to come up with something really out of the blue. Okay, out of the blue. Okay, my son gets some of that from me because when I was a kid growing up, even to this day, that squirrel is running the wheel. Okay, and it's childish shit that I'm like something funny, like um. But there's a point also you gotta take something funny aside and think common sense of reality here. There's a lot of couples that cannot have kids. And they have tried and tried and tried, and they cannot have any kids. And there are parents who do have kids who have no idea what they get. Some are drug addicts, some are in the criminal phase of their life as parents. The biggest fear I have with children is that CPS. CPS, no training at all. CPS can place your child with anybody who has no idea what the fuck they're doing, and all they think about is the money that's coming in. And not all kids are safe in foster care. No, it's a scary thing. There were many cases where children, young as 5, 6 years old, to about 12 months, are found dead. Are dead by people who have no idea what the fuck they're doing. In the houses, some of these houses are not upkeep. The trash. Rats infested, roaches and shit. What the hell's going on? I would not want that for my child. I would not. Because it's one thing. One thing I don't want is to have my child in the care of somebody who has no idea what the hell they're doing. Now, at the point here is there has to be accountability for everybody or anybody. If they messed up, if they fuck up badly, they have to be held accountable for their actions. Because if not, they're still going to keep doing it again and again and again and again. And they'll be victims, scarred physically, mentally, and emotionally. And they will not trust anybody. Now, trust is another issue. Trust is a very tough thing to earn with anybody. Trust is a very tough thing to earn. You gotta earn that trust. You gotta earn that. Go. You can be held accountable. It's like a police officer who have no idea about the laws. Some of these cops have never been through the academy. They came from college after learning having a degree in law enforcement. They never trained to deal with shit like domestic violence or deal with somebody with mental issues. When somebody calls 911, they send out a cop first. A cop always there first before an ambulance. It's insane. Be held accountable. If you're not, there's somebody that'll hold you accountable for your actions. I would rather see a cop who went through the academy, who went through the training, instead of somebody who's just came off the street, got a badge and a gun. I want somebody who has the training, who has the capability of separating bullshit to reality and understanding the laws of the Constitution. Because not all officers like following the Constitution. They just don't give a shit. If you're an officer who went through the academy, who actually went through training, I want to have. And if you're an officer who went through training in college, just learning the laws and shit, they're actually learning how to use a gun, learning how to drive a cop cruiser or whatever, are not the right person mentally. If you can handle it mentally as well as physically, hey, you gotta think, motherfucker. You gotta think. Go through the training. Understand the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, man. If you're an officer who doesn't follow the law, then you are too fucked up to be on the police force. Alright? Please share this video. I would surely appreciate it. If you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. And please notification. Remember, knowledge is free. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Peace out. Revenue.